explore latest trends and innovations across various domains. I'm Swanatama Ganguly, founder director of KPI Ladder, a company dedicated to delivering cutting edge solutions in competence development and niche skills hiring. Today's podcast is very important. When the entire world is battling with some kind of fake phishing mails, deepfakes, calls, digital arrest, where recently our PM, Mr. Modi, have mentioned in one of the podcasts, a lot of compromises, right? Identity thefts and whatnots. In this context, let we felt that we should invite industry's top ranked cybersecurity expert and understand cybersecurity as a whole subject, and also understand the latest trends, what is happening in the cybersecurity area. So with this, without further ado, let's welcome today's guest, Dr. Ram Kumar. Dr. Ram Kumar, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Sunatama, for inviting me here. Happy to be featured on this show.
Thank you so much. Dr. Ram, we all know you. We have seen you in different platforms, especially LinkedIn. You have donned many hats, right? You are top ranked cybersecurity expert, LinkedIn top voice cybersecurity expert. I would say author, mentor, award jury, community builder, and whatnot. You are also visiting lot many top ranked universities. So, if for the viewers' interest, if you can share, from where it all started, your career, and how you have chosen, for this particular, industry.
Sure, thanks for the opportunity. Anyway, let me just put out a standard disclaimer. What I'm saying is on my personal view. It's not necessarily that of my employer. Now, coming to your question, I started my cybersecurity career in the year 2004, 20 years back. At that point in time, it was called information security, and now it has evolved into cybersecurity. So my very first job was after I completed my MCA degree, and then I applied, and I got selected purely on merit. The fun fact was the company where I started my career, a company called Juno Online Services. Now it is called United Online. It is a US-based ISP. That company had an office in a business park in Hyderabad. The same business park had my dad's office. He was working for a subsidiary of DuPont. And many folks at his office thought he had a role in recommending me and getting me a job in the same building. So in fact, we both used to go together and come back together. And at that point, I was pretty young, just out of college. And I didn't like to be going in along with Dad because it felt like a schoolboy. So point is, I had to. Dad didn't have any role because he was in non-IT, he was in finance, and I was my role when my journey started with IT. So we had to explain that he doesn't have any, and moreover in IT industry, it doesn't work that way. That you recommend someone and somebody gets hired, right? So that was a very unique experience, Dad and me going together to office. Now, point is, when I first day when I joined as part of induction, and they assigned me my department. Luckily, I was assigned into security and abuse department, where some of the other fellow new joinees, they went to tech support. So that way, destiny chose me to be part of cybersecurity function rather than I chose it, right? So otherwise I could have got into tech support, but divine grace, it took me into cybersecurity. That's where I cut my teeth into this domain, and then I built my career. So that's how it all started.
Wonderful. What a fascinating story. All right, so let's explore more, things with the cybersecurity part. I mean, we have seen that there are a lot of things are happening, right, in the current market. We have seen that current threats, the entire landscape has been changed. So, as a cybersecurity expert, if
Yeah.
you can, explore, or if you can, maybe handpick few of the cases, few of the phenomena of late, what had happened, maybe for the B2B aspect, if you can share, And number two is with the rise or with the advent of generative AI, right? With the rise of IoTs in the picture, and there are lots of data, easy data access, coming into picture. Also, the clouds, invent of those aspects. How
Mm.
cybersecurity has changed? What are the broad level, if you can share some of the highlights of this recent phenomenon?
Sure. So with the advent of Gen AI, it is kind of a game changer, and both for the defenders and the attackers. And of course, we had a new range of threats when cloud security became a big issue. Cloud computing started around late 2000s, right? Around 2008, 9 it started. And the pace accelerated after the COVID pandemic when everyone was constrained to work remotely, right? So
Right.
cloud also poses a big challenge. Then the IoT attacks, IoT in the OT world, manufacturing sector, that is a new attack vector now. So all these new technologies are very much prone to security risks and threats. Now, coming to the current evolving threat landscape, we do have challenges in the cybersecurity supply chain, right? Where supply chain software different dependencies are being disrupted or exploited, and it has its own cascading effect on the organizations. Then you do have issues with AI powered attacks, right?
Right.
So you do have polymorphic, malware which can just evolve, and there is no easy way to prevent them from attacking you. Then the other major part is the weaponization of AI. Right, AI is being weaponized to target attacks, and one key thing in this entire thing, the threat scenario, is the targeted attacks. So when whether you are a
Hmm.
large or unknown entity, you are a branded entity or a very small unknown entity, doesn't matter. All it matters is your if you have a vulnerability, it gets exploited. And
Hmm.
over the years, the attacker profile also has changed. Earlier, the 70s and all, it was just college kids who were want to show their technical prowess, some bravado. They did it for fun and
Hmm.
kind of a challenge. Then it became, kind of a vandalism, kind of a group of people who got
And this
involved.
become a mainstream profession as well, right? For
Yes,
most
yes.
of the.
Now it has become, that's why I'm taking you through a journey. Then
Yeah.
it became activism where hackers for a cause, they hack for a cause,
Hmm.
like an environment cause or something. They used to launch distributed DOS attacks, DDoS attacks. So no
Right.
matter how noble your intent is, hacking is illegal. And then
Hmm.
became the organized criminal syndicates. It became a mainstream profession, like uh, local goon underworld goon went online and started attacking for financial gain or for disruption. The worst of all is the APT gangs, advanced persistent threat gangs, which is supported by nation states, that is state-sponsored cyber attackers. So these people are aligned with the respective militaries of nation states, and they have access to unlimited resources in terms of money, in terms of skill sets, and the tools, and they are very persistent. They are there for a long haul, and if they are targeting an organization, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. It's not a question of if, but when. When they will be breaching, and very sophisticated and threats they deploy, attacks they deploy. That there is no easy way to even detect that their organization is under attack. Right, it takes long time. So these are the fundamental changes that are happening, and of course, the human element, human error, always plays a key role. One misjudged or careless act, like clicking a phishing email, downloading a malicious attachment, can actually lead to lethal consequences. Right. So these are some of the new age attacks that are happening, or phenomenon that is happening. And worst thing is, it is made by, I mean, what makes it all the more worse is the skill shortage today. We do not have adequate uh, professionals to defend our networks, our infra and data. That is actually telling a lot in the way the cyber threats are evolving, right? So that's my take on this question.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Ram. So you have rightly have mentioned, right? Now, to counter attack this thing, we have been hearing a term called zero trust model, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
of late, this has come up. Maybe if you can highlight, brief level, not a very, not the subject. I understand it's a very vast. Maybe
yeah,
if you
yeah,
can take
yeah.
few of the principles, and then what is that as an architecture level? What is zero trust and
Yes.
zero trust model? And the second question is, what are the compliances? If you can, talk about this
Sure,
particular term.
sure. So, zero trust model is a very good security strategy that works on the assumption that a potential breach can happen, and it verifies each request as if it came from an open network. So the underlying principle here is you never trust but always verify. So
Hmm.
the whole model goal is to enhance your security in modern distributed IT environment, and importantly, it can help in preventing data breaches and limit your internal lateral movement. Once attacker comes and you implement a properly structured zero trust architecture, it can limit internal lateral movement and also improve your security compliance to you know. And the whole idea about this model is having a security strategy for your devices, for your data, networks, workloads, and also the people aspect. Now, what are the key principles? One is it does continuous verification of all the resources, for authentication. Then it also limits your a term we use called the blast radius. In the sense, you minimize the impact of your breach. Suppose an organization is breached, the exposure is limited. So your blast radius is limited, it is contained, and it helps you to reduce the risk as much as possible. And it also helps in automating context collection and response, because today we are in the era of behavioral analytics. So you can leverage on your behavioral data and context from the entire IT stack, right? For your entire IT stack to make it more, to help you take accurate decisions as much as possible. Then we also use in this zero trust model the micro perimeters, right? So your network is segmented and you protect each of your assets with multiple micro perimeters than a single security perimeters. So when you have a single security perimeter, if it is one perimeter is breached, then everything is vulnerable. But here, your network is segmented in such a way that one breach cannot actually have a very large consequence. Then we also put in place very granular controls in terms of to ensure that your accesses are managed better, right? And the chances of breach is very less actually. And the focus is more on user experience, because when you have multiple client apps running, you want to ensure they run seamlessly in the background, so that user access is actually not impacted, and the resources, everything works without any major issues. And finally, you have so many endpoints today. In the large organizations, you have many endpoints, right? So these are verified, and each endpoint is actually verified when you have the zero trust model properly implemented, and it is under the control of the appropriate people, right? So that way, these principles actually help you in implementing better security. Yeah.
Right. Right. Thank you, Dr. Ram. I understand this is a pretty vast topic, and thanks, making it in a very nutshell way. So we have touched upon that part, and also the other part is the AI centric, right? Cybersecurity,
Yeah,
human
yeah,
element versus AI centric cybersecurity. If may ask, how the maybe if you can touch upon, you already mentioned the behavioral part of it, right? So maybe the social engineering part, how it played a crucial role in
yeah,
cybersecurity attacks.
yeah. So there is a famous saying in security. It says that amateurs hack systems and professionals hack people, right? So if you're a professional hacker, you will not run behind the system and try to breach it. You target people because people, the human element is considered the weakest link in the cybersecurity. And if the strength of a chain, a conventional chain, depends a lot on the weakest link. How strong is the weak link? What is supposed to be weak? The moment it snaps, your chain is no longer a chain, it just snaps, right? So that way the human element is very, very vulnerable. And when it comes to social engineering attacks, it involves like something like a phishing attacks are very good for using psychological triggers and vulnerabilities that makes all of us susceptible to fall into the traps, right? So primarily they deploy emotional manipulation, they create a sense of urgency, they create fear, right? And curiosity and trust to manipulate our emotions and get a response. So give an example. If you receive an email that says that please update your user ID and passwords in this link, otherwise by tomorrow midnight your account will be suspended. So
Yes,
immediately,
yes.
people get fall for the fear, the threat that my account will be suspended, and they want to comply with it, right? And that's how attacks are successful. And they also use a lot of persuasive language, right? In the phishing emails or voicemails.
Hmm. Yeah, right. Continuous way they will, trigger
Yeah,
on those same,
yeah,
pinpoint those areas, those
yeah,
few
yeah.
keywords. And this
Yeah,
is
and
urgency.
also
Yeah.
our personality traits, like we all were very helpful, our willingness to help, especially if you are in the reception or customer facing roles, you are in a customer support role, right? And that could be exploited. Human greed could be exploited. Somebody says that we
Lottery
are
scam, isn't it?
lottery scam, this
Yeah.
Nigerian scam, they're all pretty old.
Hmm.
Now people fall for it. Gullibility. It's very much evident in the recent phenomenon of digital arrest, where someone calls you and say that you have sent a courier to Iran or North
Yes.
Korea. It is stuck with customs. How can you send? And then they put a blame on you, create a sense of guilt, and you do not, use your common sense that why would I send a package to such
Oh,
countries,
yes, absolutely. The
or I
parcel
receive
scam.
a parcel from some other country
Hmm.
like that, and
True.
then they will start trapping you, right,
Hmm.
through a phone call. And a phone call, easily you can cut the connection, but still we are so gullible that we hang in and start complying with the instructions that come from these crooks, cyber crooks, right? And our curiosity, if somebody says your annual bonus details are available in the attachment, and people will click
The
and
click button click.
click
Yes.
buy, right? They click
Uh,
the attachment, and attachment could have a payload for malware. So all these things are exploited human emotions and the factors. And of course, phishing attacks, the best strategy is education, awareness, right?
yes.
Awareness of human. Even though you have tools today to prevent and block phishing mails, but still, awareness is the best solution. You do have phishing simulation exercise. You can patch your systems. You can enforce multi-factor authentication. You can have a proper, DNS filtering, all the technical controls. You can have regular security assessments. But what is more important is awareness and the culture of, specifically for reporting. The people are having that sense to report. Are they encouraged to report? And if they report, will there be any negative consequences? A lot of it depends on the organization culture, based on which your security culture comes as a subculture of organization culture. So what is your security culture? Is it positive? Is it open? Is it helpful? All those factors come into play. Now when it comes to AI, as I said, AI is a double-edged sword. AI
Right.
for security and security of AI, these two are two different terms if you
Okay.
think logically. Now AI can be used for defending and also it can be used for attacking. So
Right.
in terms of defending, it can help in speedier detection of phishing emails. Today, AI can be used for drafting very convincing,
Oh, yes, absolutely. The
flawless
mails, yeah.
emails. You can't even detect it as a phishing email. Earlier, we used to say when you want to detect a phishing email, you check for these characteristics, typos, errors, all this salutation. All that is gone. Today, AI can, in seconds, it can draft a beautiful
Right.
uh, email that convinces. And of course, AI can be used for anti-phishing measures and behavioral analysis. It can also be it can also be leveraged for authentication and defending against cyber crimes, right? So all these factors in AI can make it cybersecurity. It can transform. Today, machine learning is so advanced that you can actually use it to reduce and defend the attack surface in with every threat vector, right? Today,
Absolutely.
how
Absolutely.
AI has transformed cybersecurity is across email. Even you can use it for code analysis for vulnerabilities when it
Right.
comes to your application security. As far as network security is concerned, you can use it for anomaly detection in your network traffic, right? Anonymous uh, traffic alerts it can get you. And API security, today everything is on API,
Right.
right?
Right.
Connects.
Right. Absolutely.
So those also can be abnormal API usage patterns and vulnerabilities. It can be used for identifying them. Then your web browser can help in detecting malicious websites and phishing links, right? And social media. In social media, you can leverage AI for detecting fake news. We are in the
Mhm.
era of fake news that can be used for
Right.
manipulating people. We are in the era of deep
Even
fake.
manipulating elections also, right? Of late, we have
Yeah,
some
huge.
recently big elections had happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there are
Even
cases. I mean, yeah.
yeah, in the US elections also deepfakes was used, voice cloning is used. Today, voice cloning is used even for targeting people to take their money, right? Somebody would call as if pose as if it is your relative or friend and ask for money to be transferred, giving it transferred to them, stating some sob story that I'm stuck here, I don't have money to come back, I'll give you later. Please transfer to this account. All those ones, it happens. And of course,
I think
social
with the
media.
use of generative AI, the deepfake become very easy, isn't it? I
Very
mean,
easy, very
the
easy. Yes,
generating
exactly.
a voice as per the persona, it become
Yeah,
very easy, and people can do it. And a lot of we have seen cases are like that.
yeah, yeah. So that's it. It makes it all the more, very critical for people. People in IT itself are not that aware. Then think about people who are not
Oh,
digitally savvy.
absolutely. Even some of the one of the podcast, one of the again cybersecurity expert, India's topmost cybersecurity, Amit Dubey, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
He was
no, no.
mentioning that there are two kind of people now. One is who already knew that the attack had been happened, they have been compromised. The other person, they also got attacked, but they don't know that things are done. So
Yeah, yeah.
anyone have seen the kind of scenarios. So
True, true.
nobody,
Mm,
yeah, so nobody is basically left out from this kind of an attacks.
true. Yeah, yeah.
So we have this food scam, parcel scam, all the mail scam, everything is going on, and people still they fall for it. Don't you think this is a kind of philosophy? We need to be more aware of it, rather
True.
than it's a
More,
technical.
more awareness is required. See, people in the corporate system, corporate sector, or people who have banking transactions, somewhere or other, they get exposed to this in terms of some awareness sessions, awareness mailers. When bank customers are routinely sent emails on how to safeguard their
Wow,
bank
this
account.
is really good because the way we are discussing, what I'm thinking we should do, because we have different kind of age group populations, and we should
Yeah,
do it in different languages as well. People should be
languages.
aware of it. Maybe the people who are above 50 or 60, they may not aware of English as a medium language. It can be in
True, true.
Tamil, Bangla, in other
Yeah,
regional languages. Should we can talk
should
and
be
discuss
done.
more that
Make it
how.
more fun to learn, more interesting. Use a lot of gamification, animation. And today nobody likes to sit through 1 hour of online
Right.
training, right? So make it bite size, 2 minutes, 3 minutes,
Oh, yes,
chunks of
absolutely.
videos, or some sort of game where they get know about the dangers of trusting any link that comes to them, right? Always verify, and all the nuances how you verify. Don't check with them directly, actually use another
Mhm.
method to check with the bank, because today identity is under threat, your bank money is under threat, right?
Mhm.
Identity and money are very important. Third thing is, in industries like the industry where I work, automotive, or in my previous employment with healthcare industry, the human lives are at stake, right? So imagine
True.
all these connected devices, medical devices like digital X-ray, MRI machines, and CT
Mm.
scanners. They are also susceptible to cyber attacks. If they are successfully attacked because they do not have proper security controls, right? If, for example, the application coding has vulnerabilities, and
Mhm.
security uh, best practices are not being deployed, or just keeping there, these vulnerabilities that can be exploited by hackers, and the because of the attacks or exploitation, it can lead to very lethal consequences. The diagnosis
Oh,
can
yes.
be
Oh, yes. True. True.
can lead
Absolutely.
to wrong medication, wrong treatment, a line of treatment. It can lead even to death also. So that is in the healthcare. Coming to automotive, again, cars are also hackable, right? With all the
Oh,
connected cars.
absolutely. Yes. Cars are getting hacked. We have seen many cases.
Imagine if cars are not robust, cars or automotive technology. Today, it depends. Everything is software-defined vehicle. We are living in that era.
True.
Your vehicle has hundreds of chips, IoT sensors, semiconductor chips, right? That
Right.
manages your vehicle's optimized performance. And if these are very is not protected properly with adequate controls, they can also be hacked. You can just Google for any brand name and just put hacked. You will get a lot of links, and you can read through how it has been. A lot of proof
Mhm.
of concept attacks have been done and demonstrated how it can be hacked. Only thing is, it's very scary. You drive a car and your car is not obeying your commands. You are not able to steer. You are not able to brake. You are not able to turn,
Absolutely.
not
Yes.
able to open your door, right? It's very scary, not only for you, your co-passengers, but also other users in the road. So it all looks very sci-fi stuff, right? 15 years back, if I'd been talking this, nobody will relate. See, he's talking some science fiction. How can a car be taken remote control and somebody is manipulating it? But today it's all possible, right? A flipper device also can actually hack in old generation cars. But you see, the hackers are always some multiple steps ahead, and they can always, do very nefarious designs and screw everyone. So that's very
True.
dangerous
True.
stuff.
True. Absolutely true. So these days, not only laptop, your mobiles, also the all kind of digital identities, be it car,
Anything
anything can
digital.
be hacked,
Even your smart
attacked.
homes, everyone is very proud, and they feel top of the world to have a very modern smart home. They say with my mobile or my tab, I can actually control my lighting systems. I can switch on and switch off AC. All of that, they are very proud. I have everything through the app. I can do. My home is fully connected. All that. But for a true security person, who's security conscious, especially people from cybersecurity, they'll not go for a smart
Yeah,
home
that's
proposition, because it's
not
all
riskier
susceptible
than.
to hacking, right? So that way, I'm not discouraging smart homes. The only thing is, we all look for cheaper technology implementation. We want more bang for the buck that we pay,
Right.
And when you pay very less and without thinking of security risk, it's very dangerous. It may be functional for you, but no security. So
Very, very
always
vulnerable.
convenience,
Yeah.
functionality and security is like a triangle. So either only two of them will be there. The third thing will always be compromised. So finding a good balance between these three aspects is very critical. So my only plea or request is those who are going gaga over smart homes, please think through the security aspect, right? Same thing for smart devices. We all buy all these fancy
True.
watches, right? Fitbit watches that monitors our health. Everything is monitored. Now, for a minute, you do some due diligence. Who's the manufacturer? Or do they have they undergone security breaches? What are the measures they are taken? Do they have a security program? Because you never know. You could just buy a very cheap watch to save money, but if the controls are not there, all your data could be compromised and it could be misused, right? All our health data. So please
True.
be careful on that.
All right, all right. So I think we have discussed a lot, and it's more interesting. So, Dr. Ram, if you can explain also the future of this particular, subject, the cybersecurity as a future. We have been, hearing that quantum computing impact. We have been hearing that, the mesh architecture, how it come. Cybersecurity as a service is also coming up with, different
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
streams. If you can talk upon, and cyber resilience, this is another area. If you can talk upon one of these areas.
Yes, yes. So even I mean, we for the future trends, I would quote Gartner. Gartner is a very respected
True.
analyst. So they did a survey and they published top 10 trends for cybersecurity in 2024 and how it will evolve in
Mm.
2025 as well. So one is mainstreaming of Gen AI for cybersecurity, and the gap between the talent demand, and the talent supply that we already spoke. And cloud adoption is going to be more relentless, and that's going to alter how our digital ecosystems are composed, right? Or and importantly, the regulatory obligations, a lot of new regulations, and it's getting more and more tighter, and government will have a more oversight on security and privacy of data, and data localization. So the upcoming DPDP Act, also the act has been passed in India. It's not yet been operationalized, so we are waiting to see how the rules will be framed and how the implementation of this act will happen. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and also
Mhm.
we are looking for we are living in an era where a lot of decentralization is happening of our digital capabilities across enterprises. Earlier it was centralized, now it is all decentralized. And the way you challenge, you manage your security exposures. Today we are living in the era of continuous threat exposure management, right? CTEM is the way industry calls it. So the attack surface has increased a lot, right? So earlier, 20 years back, if a company has a digital ecosystem, it was just limited to the four walls of the company. We didn't had a concept of extended enterprise. We didn't had concept where outsourcing was very rampant or mainstream. We didn't had employees connecting remotely or employees using their personal devices. The BYOD concept was not there. Bring your own
Mhm.
device.
Yeah, building
And
that.
typically, enterprise means it's only within the four corners of the physical building. You had your devices, you had better control. Today, we are on cloud. We encourage BYOD. We have concept of extended enterprise where our vendors and suppliers or service providers, they connect with us. We transfer data to them for business operations, and all of this poses a big threat. The surface attack surface has increased, and mobile apps today, right? All of this creates a potent mix. And today, we also talk about quantum computing, quantum cryptography to be specific,
Correct.
how it actually challenges your conventional cryptography, right? So
Mhm.
you can easily break all the algorithms and much faster, and rendering all our security controls useless. So quantum
Correct.
cryptography is a new a
New
domain that
concept, right? Yeah, new
lot of
domain is emerging
traction
out, right?
in research community. We'll have to wait and see how it is being commercialized for usage in the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also we'll have to look at the impact of AI also is evolving a lot, right? And we've seen how cyber physical systems have played a havoc. The recent Israeli attack on the Hezbollah organization members, right?
Mm.
So how they use pagers to inflict lethal damage on the Hezbollah militants, right?
Against the militants, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
actually manipulate the manufacturer, and they could implant some explosives even without any sort of detection or suspicion. So that gives a new spin to cyber physical systems, right? So
Right.
all these things make it all the more, critical how you look at cyber security today, both from technology perspective, the model that you need to adopt, secure models of architecture, and also the you know the regulations and the
Mm.
controls oversight by the government, right? So that's my take on this.
Okay, great. I mean, you have rightly mentioned that against this Hezbollah attack, right, by Israeli soldiers.
Yeah,
Uh,
forces.
this
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be an example of, I mean, where we stand in today cybersecurity. I mean, how far they have reached that devices like a pager, which have no relation. It's not a smartphone or it's not anything related to that, not connected at all
yeah,
to your Wi-Fi or something, but still it
yeah,
can get hacked. So that
yeah,
this shows that the kind of where we stand and how far it can go and it can reach.
yeah,
Great,
yeah,
great. I think we have touched upon all the corners. The one corner being a competence development company, being into training and development, the careers, right? We all talk
yeah,
about how someone who maybe a fresher who wanted to get
okay,
into a foray of cybersecurity domain, what are the key skill set should be having, number one, and number two, the certification part. If you can, there are different tracks, I understand, and maybe if you
yeah,
can touch upon few tracks as well as the
sure,
certification one should go for.
sure. So, as freshers, I would strongly encourage them to get their hands dirty in developing skills, right? So, initially, focus on learning rather than earning, right? The more you learn, it will pay off later to help you to earn more. So, you have to take risks, right? Get out of your comfort zone and
Mhm.
try doing new things. That's very important. The learning experience is important, and very proactively learn the domain. You enroll for courses, enroll for training programs, or do a lot of self-study as well, right? And be part of professional associations like ISACA or ISC Square or OAS or CSA local chapters, right? So that will give you a lot of exposure to what's happening in the industry. You can sign up as a student volunteer if you're a student and take advantage of the discounted pricing for membership, and you can volunteer on the activities, so you get hands-on exposure to what's going on, participate in their meetups or conferences so that you hear from the industry leaders and observe them, understand what is the trends today, new concepts, the new technologies, and the networking you do with the security professionals will actually help you, because you have opportunities to move with them, understand them, and you can also use them as your role models in shaping your careers, and they could also help you if you're really worthy. They can also refer you to good jobs, right? And forever upskilling. This is not a domain where you learn one course or you complete one degree and say I'll never open a book, because even today, after so many years in the industry, I still feel I'm a student. I learn if it is
True.
really going to help me. I don't
This
have
is
any qualms about
wonderful.
learning new technology, new
Should
concepts, new
not shy
regulations.
away from learning.
Yes, so learning has to be a way of life. And learning doesn't mean you have to go and join an institute or do a course. It can be passive learning. Every day, read up some blogs, watch videos. If you can't read a book, read a soft copy, right? Or you can use a lot of podcasts, right? Or there are multiple ways you can do certifications. If you really want to upskill, plan certifications in whatever domain you choose. Every 3 months you can upskill. You can study and validate your knowledge by writing the certification exam. Now,
And Dr. Ram, if may ask you, if I sorry to interrupt, if I ask you that, what are the certifications? If you can pinpoint few
yeah, sure,
certifications.
sure. So before we go there, a lot of freshers they ask, how do I gain skills and experience? Of course, we spoke a lot about the exposure. Now,
Mm-hmm.
skills how you can develop is only when you work on projects. So,
Right.
um, enroll yourself as an intern. Look for internships, preferably in-person internship rather than online internship. Online is all convenient, but it is not going to give you that experience of working alongside teams, right? So the real world experience will help you a lot of insights and you gain skills. Then you can also participate and capture the flag CTF events or hackathons that will only hone your skills. Don't worry about winning or losing. It's about that experience. Be part of such events.
Sure.
Volunteer with your local chapters, industry associations. That also gives you a lot of skills and experience. As I said, continuous learning. Then join online labs like Try Hack Me, play around, and then you get good skills you can develop. Then training and certifications we spoke about. Networking will help you. Leverage LinkedIn in a very big way. Get active in this
Right.
platform. You can follow leaders, thought leaders. You can read about them. Get to know what's going on in the industry. You can use some hashtags, keywords, and follow such. And you can be part of groups and communities. Follow companies. Okay, you get a lot of insights from them. Set up a home lab if possible for practice,
Mm.
right? And participate in bug bounty program, right? It
Crucial.
will help
Yes.
the
Absolutely.
skills. And also, you may get rewarded in terms of money or goodies or at least a Hall of Fame listing. That will also help you in your CV. The credential building is important. Credential building can happen via certifications, training courses, and all these bug bounties, CTF winnings, training. All of this can help you build a better profile, right? And get a mentor. That is very important. Mentor, you can use them as sounding board for your ideas and use them as a guide. You can request
Mhm.
someone senior in the industry if he or she can be a mentor. Of course, the decision to follow it or not, it's best left with you. You are in charge. You can take their insights and decide what is best for you. That control and freedom you should be having, right? Now, when it comes to the certifications, it's very important that you don't go all over the place to build your certifications. Certifications are very important
True.
in building your skill set. Today, suppose you are in network security, you want to get into cloud. Unless you take the effort to learn about cloud and certify, will not have that opportunity. So you have all the freedom today to get into another domain and learn. Say, for example, you want to learn AWS cloud, you can go and to the AWS Skill Builder site, start learning. Matter of 6 months, if you are at it very consistently, you will reach to some level, and you can appear for an online exam. The exam will help you validate your knowledge, gain a certification, a badge that will boost your confidence, and it gives a sense to the potential hiring manager that this person has invested himself or herself in upskilling, spending time, money, focus, and effort, and gain this certification, so they have some confidence. The other way to look at it is certification helps you to build the credentialing in your CV. When you say I have certified this year in two different technologies or two aligned areas, right? It what it shows is you are seen as a very committed person who is investing in yourself in upskilling your capabilities. And second thing is, when today the recessionary times, you have so much of shortage of jobs, right? People are struggling across board, whether it is a fresher or a junior or a mid-career professional, senior person, or a CISO, because the amount of inbox mails I get in LinkedIn is huge. Yeah, across
Right.
these board, people are looking for jobs. So what
Mhm.
makes you different and special is certifications, right? especially when you're young. When you're young and when you're building your career, you should make that effort to make yourself look good. Because when your job posting is posted in LinkedIn, matter of hours, you get 100, 200, 300 applicants. So many people are applying.
True,
So
true.
is it possible humanly for a recruiter to look at each of the CV? There's no way.
No,
Only
no.
thing they do is they have the ATS system, applicant tracking
Right.
system, which is
It is just right.
radio or you know whatever is the tool or Workday. The ATS ready CV you should have, and that CV should have the keywords, right keywords for the job. Right? If you are specialized in 3 4 domains, don't list all of them together in the sense in the same level. So if a job is looking for cloud security expertise and your expertise is cloud security, network security, application security, don't put all three together. In the sense, highlight your cloud security experience and skill set and your credentials more so that you get a better hit rate in the ATS system. And if your certifications are there, those keywords will be matched in the ATS, and they will call you. There will be a better chance of you getting called for the interview table
Right.
or the online call, right? So that way you have to customize your CV to every job. Don't have a one size fits all approach. That's not going to work, because today everything is non-personalized, right? Everything is no human agent is looking into the CVs. So when
Mhm.
the CVs get filtered through the ATS keywords, your CV has the right credential keywords, then you get a better chance of success to the interview table. Then from there on, it's your the way you handle your interview, how you answer, that takes over. But even to get to the interview table, you need to have a strategy and use all these techniques.
True. Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
certifications will help you a lot in building that confidence, building that credentials to look good on your CV, and also your competence and confidence in your face interviews, right? So that's important. Now, certifications again are two types. One is your the technical side, and the other is your management or strategic type uh, line. In the technical stream, you can start with IT infrastructure related, network security related, right? Then you have cloud security, you have application security,
Absolutely.
you have SOC, Security Operations Center. You are
Mhm.
interested in pen testing, red teaming, vulnerability assessment. All of them come under the tactical or technical stream. You do have the other side is your leadership stream, that is the strategic areas like governance, risk, compliance, policy, now auditing, security audit, security assessment, risk assessment, right, risk management, security frameworks, these and all in the next level. So always say that you start with the technical area before you move into the strategic area, because your career is like a English letter alphabet T, right? So when you start, you should build a mile deep exercise, and in that early stage in your career, you will have to build that expertise, and your exposure will be only inch wide, right? Whereas when you grow higher and higher, it will become the opposite. You become from a specialist, you should become a generalist, right? You have a mile wide exposure and an inch deep expertise. That's fine, but to start with, always go for the technical area. At least one or two areas you should be very strong before you move on to management side, right? So you
True.
do have certifications from bodies like ISACA or ISC Square, and you do have, these are the two major places for
Mhm.
information security related. Of course, if you are into ethical hacking and all pen testing, you can look at EC Council. Then for cloud, you can go for vendor neutral certifications like CCSP from ISC Square, or you want to specialize in a specific vendor like AWS or MS Azure or Google, you can always go to their sites and check out, right? Apart from that, you do have ISO lead auditor and lead implementer certifications. That's not very tough, but you need to have subject matter expertise before you actually attempt those certifications. That way, it will be helpful. So please spend some time in building your credentials. That's very important. And people who are certified get paid more also, right? So that way, whenever you look in any of the top paying certification lists, you will find at least 4 or 5 security certifications. But there are certain certifications they look for hard experience, a very strong, robust experience in the domain, say 5 years, 6 years. Please fulfill that. Don't jump into it just to get it, because you will get yourself burnt, right? Like something like a CISSP is a, we call the gold standard in information security, that needs years and years of experience. So do not attempt as a fresher. Build hands-on experience before you go for such senior level, expert level certifications. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Dr. Ram. That shows that what kind of passionate person you are. What's a detailed answer. Thank you, thanks so much. And one more thing is, who can be a better mentor than you? The way you have
Thank you.
explained, and the way you have put across your thoughts. Thank you so much for coming to our show. But
Thank you. Thank
we need
you.
to do continuous basis, because there are so many things are coming up, right? There's such
Yeah.
a huge noises going around across cybersecurity. So,
Yeah.
with that note, Dr. Ram, thank you so much for coming to our
My
podcast. Thank
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
thank you,
Thanks for having me in this video. See you around. Bye bye.
thank you so much.